The whole world saw the murders of Hamas on October 7th because they broadcast it worldwide on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on X. And in spite of all that proof, and thousands dead and hundreds kidnapped and mass destruction of the towns in southern Israel, there's a professor at the University of California, Berkeley, that says Hamas is a progressive social organization. She's nuts. She still has a job. We're going to tell you about her. Here's a wild one for you. There's a feminist who's quite famous. She teaches at UC Berkeley. Oh, shock. And she's come out and said, let me back up. She first became famous. Her name is Judith Butler. Let me show you what she looks like. Very happy looking lady. In 2006, she's the one that declared that pronouns have to be changed, because male and female aren't enough. Now there's 300 or something like that. Anyway, she now says that Hamas is a progressive organization. It's a liberal ideology. Here's her quote. Yes, understanding Hamas and Hezbollah as social movements that are progressive. They're on the left. They're part of the global left. It's extremely important. And then, after they massacred 12 or 1,300 people, men, women, children, babies, old people, whoever they could find, kidnapped 300, burned down 5 towns to the ground, she updated her quotes about Hamas. Now she says, we can have different views about Hamas as a political party. We can have different views about armed resistance, but the uprising on October 7th was an act of armed resistance. Are you hearing me? This is the same lady that says genders are a social construct and that women don't exist, and on and on and on. And yet she justifies their murder and rape. Get a good look at her picture. I want you to remember her name. This woman is insane. She's a hateful supporter of mass murder. Her name, Judith Butler, and she teaches at the University of California at Berkeley, paid for by your federal and state tax dollars at work. Is it any wonder Berkeley is creating monsters in the classroom?
They've been creating them for a long time, a very long time. And they've been working up to the point that we are right now, where the federal government has been infested with this ideology. And a lot of people, they're happy about it. But you'd be surprised, Barry, there's a lot of people that are waking up to it because they're targeting their children. And when you start doing your children, like, look, everything else is fair game, but now you're targeting my children. Now it's become a different problem.
Hold on. You're going to get a story about that in about 30 minutes, just about that subject. But in the meantime, our job there in Texas and here at American Truth Project is to wake people up, educate people. Look, knowledge is power. I don't think our audience of 1,300 people and 100,000 that are going to see this when we send it out have any idea who Judith Butler is, but now they know. And when they read her insane ramblings, right, or the insane post of Ella Emhoff supporting murder with a smile on their face as armed resistance, now you're going to go, time out. I'm calling BS on this.
Yeah, I mean, we could go to a whole laundry list on why these people support someone who's all about murder, mass murder, because they have in the past. They do it every time a young lady goes into the operating table. You know what I mean? Without me going into complete detail about it. Yep. They're okay with thousands and thousands of rockets being shot into Israel, and they never call for a ceasefire. But then when Israel retaliates and said that we've got to stop this because we want it to end, then they want to scream for a ceasefire. It's all about mass murder for them. They're okay with it as long as they're the ones initiating it.
Well, as they say, and I'm sorry to have to repeat it, no Jews equals no news. There's Christians being slaughtered right now in Nigeria. They're burning Christian villages to the ground. They're burning African Christian believers in Jesus. They're burning them alive, Will.
But that's not a story. That's not a story. That's not something that's really important. They can care less. They can care less because you're talking about Christians, or if it was Jews, who cares? Who cares? But when it comes to the evilness of this world, if you touch it, then it's a problem.